Like, you don't have to put on or try to be somebody else or whatever you think I may like or whatever somebody else may like. Just be your authentic self.
It's a worse. And I was like, let me hurry up and get out of this store. Oh, this bitch get arrested naked. I'm like, girl, it's not that serious.
Like, I had to swim for myself.
No?
You are?
I'm sorry now?
You are?
Huh?
I thought you didn't know how to swim.
I said I'm not. I know how to swim for my own benefit.
Like I'm in quicksand and I'm like, Daddy, I love you, man. I want to be this close. I don't want to go yet.
I think people try to kind of be what they think you need, and it's not really that, or try to operate in a space that and feel like they're being an ally, but they're not really being an ally. Because I tell people this all the time. It's like at work, especially when you're a new person at work.
I wish we could be a bit more unified in some of our approaches to how we try to address inequalities or negativity that's directed towards the community.
Welcome. What's going on, guys?
Hello.
What's happening?
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Off Topic podcast. I got Brian, DJ Evox with me today, and brother Hayward.
Hey, y'all.
So the fellas are holding down again today. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll get the girls on at some point, but I think we did a good job last week. We'll continue to hold it down this week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How was your week? How was your weekend?
The weekend was good. I had a little getaway. I went to Atlanta for the weekend, so it was good to just like decompress and just hang out.
Okay. When did you go to Atlanta?
When did I go? I went Friday.
I mean, it's okay.
They said a whole bunch.
Typically, if you go to Atlanta,
mm-hmm.
you definitely make sure you start your trip on a Thursday.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, you go on Thursday so that you go to Bulldogs because that sets the tone for your weekend.
Okay. See, I experienced Bulldogs for the first time this weekend.
Oh, on what day? A Saturday?
It was Saturday. Yeah. I mean, I don't know of anything or like whatever. I know.
Yeah, I know you probably were down there, doing your praise and worship and everything, and saving souls and everything like that. I get it. So you wouldn't want to be there on a Thursday, let that taint your spirit. I get it. No, seriously, on Thursday is like when it's really popping. It's been years since I've been on a Saturday, but I know Thursday is the night. Yeah,
got it. I have that noted for future reference. Thank you. Yeah.
See.
I will second the Bulldogs on Thursday.
See? It's a thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's going on, Brian? How was your weekend?
My weekend was quiet. Dare I say peaceful. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but it was nice. Yeah.
That's good.
Why was that so funny?
Oh, because I'm just reading between the lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had a great weekend. Thanks for asking.
Well, you were still mid-sentence. Give us an opportunity to check and see how you're doing.
Ain't that it? Brian's piece came down here to visit. So that was great. We had a great time. Ironically enough, I was off on Friday and Saturday, so I hung out with him on Thursday night, and then on Friday and Saturday, he tried to kill me in the gym on Friday. I said, listen, it's Friday, we're supposed to do light. And I guess he didn't know what light meant, but
that sounds right.
Yep, and then we went to check out old Usher on Saturday, which was an amazing show. So.
Oh, was it? Okay, good.
Very nice.
Good.
Yeah. It was a good show. So it was a good weekend overall. And then Sunday started my work week. So back at it.
And what is this? This is like number 20, like concert for the year? Did you Frozen?
Yeah, let's run with Frozen.
Ain't that it? I feel like you're being shady, and I feel like it's probably number 18. Thanks. I have 2 more to go before 20 hits. Thanks very much.
Oh,
It's been, to your point, it has been the year of concerts. I mean, there's not really that much more going on, so we've been hitting the concerts pretty heavy. This has been easier, huh?
Oh, I was just about to ask, what concerts do you have remaining? Well, I know of one, but
Maxwell and Jasmine Sullivan.
okay.
So they'll be here in
in a couple of weeks, right? Yeah.
So and then that'll be it. But it's been a lot easier to attend the concerts this year when you don't have to spend a whole lot on one. Like last year, we spent all on Lovely Beyonce. So this year we're able to sprinkle it around a little bit.
Well, that's fair.
Ain't that it? All right, guys, you ready to get into some things?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's check into this first clip.
In handcuffs and a blue prison jumpsuit, Abdul Rahim Suleiman tries speaking to the judge. It's difficult to understand him with his long hair covering his face, his attorney talking him out of it. But Suleiman's allegedly said and done enough, accused of beating his wife and 2 stepsons with a baseball bat.
The strength of the state's case is extremely strong, the facts of which are gruesome to say the least.
The attack happened on Bridgeport's Main Street Wednesday morning. The mother called police saying, "Please help us. He's hitting us with a bat. My kids, my son, please help us." Luckily, an officer was nearby. Witnesses quickly pointed to Suleiman walking in the area. He was arrested, charged with attempted murder and assault. Police are listing the 6-year-old boy in critical condition, while the 4-year-old and their mother are stable. But prosecutors today with a heartbreaking update on the older son.
The likelihood of survival of this individual is close to 0. The defendant has a past history of violence, not just in this state, but in the state of New Jersey, where he did 7 years for aggravated assault.
The mother told police Suleiman had accused her of having sex with other men. Before his arraignment today, Suleiman allegedly had another violent incident in his holding cell.
According to the marshals, this individual, while down in lockup, slapped one of the marshals in the face and then spit on one of the other marshals.
Maria Green is walking home from church.
That's what we were actually praying about today. I actually was praying for our children and this generation, because it's crazy out here.
All right, guys, what's your thoughts?
Well,
yeah, nothing good.
That's a lot. I mean, there's not much you can really say about it aside from he seems like he's potentially not mentally stable. Maybe, like,
I would gather that as well. There's something not quite right going on. But Jesus, I mean, the 6-year-old and the 4-year-old, I mean, if she's out there in the streets, let her not beat her with the bat. That's not what I'm saying.
That's kind of like what you were saying, but okay.
Let me start over. If she's out there in the streets, they should sit down and talk about it. But don't bring those children into it. You know what I'm saying? And then now, I mean, she's probably going to beat herself up, honestly, because if something should happen to her sons, they're saying it's like a 0% chance he might make it.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Like her, obviously, I'm assuming that's not the children's father. So she might just manage her life into her home, into her children's life, and then look how he's taken over. I'm like, she'll probably never forgive herself for that. It's unfortunate.
It is an unfortunate scenario. Right. It's just like the lady at the end was just saying, like she was praying for the generation and everything. It does seem like, it feels like things are getting increasingly more violent, or just like the actual acts are like more heinous. I'll say that than in previous years.
No, for sure. And I feel like him targeting the children or him hitting the children at all was a very carefully planned thing. Like, how can I inflict the most emotional damage on her?
Yeah.
And it's by, hurting her children. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So and then I guess they had insult to injury. So then he do all that to her. Then while you're in lockup,
Right, slapping the
Right. He said, I got a little more left in the chamber.
That's why I say he's not like he might have some mental health issue challenges, but
and I think that's a big part of talking about this generation having is like the behavioral issues that they do. There's absolutely no consideration given these days to what are the consequences of what I'm about to do. And so like you are now in jail and you're going to perpetuate or continue the behavior that got you there in the first place. You're clearly not thinking about consequences. You're just reacting.
Very true.
That's very true. That's very true. So we'll continue on with this courtroom theme and get into this next clip.
An Atlanta man who went viral on TikTok for veneer transformations is now in the Fulton County Jail. Good evening. I'm George Estevez in for Justin Farmer.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Stouffer. Authorities say the man is not a dentist and never has been, and they say he's been putting patients at risk. In a Channel 2 Action News exclusive, consumer investigator Justin Gray is live in Northeast Atlanta after going along with investigators who raided the business. Justin.
Yeah, these are the 8 felony criminal warrants. Investigators still there at this hour. They called this Operation Toothache, and a deputy district attorney figured out what was going on here by seeing a viral TikTok. Investigators raided what looks like a high-end dental practice in Northeast Atlanta. Check out social media. You see the specialty of A-List Smiles Atlanta, Veneers.
It does look reputable, it does look professional, and that's part of the scam.
To his 157,000 Instagram followers, Brandon Dillard promoted himself as Atlanta's top veneer specialist and trainer. But he's not showing off that expensive smile in this booking photo on 8 felony charges, including practicing dentistry and medicine without a license and theft by deception. Is Brandon Dillard a dentist?
Brandon Dillard is not a dentist. He's never been a dentist. And as much as he may want to play one on Instagram, he is not one.
Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis tells me only licensed dentists can do this kind of work in Georgia. But Dillard has been operating here for years in plain sight.
If you went to this and you thought it was a dental office and you looked at the equipment, it appears to be legitimate. But that's what the best fraudsters do, is they do everything they can to make themselves look legitimate. And in this case, this is an illegitimate operation. The problem is the consequences are to one's health.
Brandon Dillard also showed off his veneer training course on social media, where for $6,000, he taught people from around the country to be a veneer specialist. But there is no such thing legally as a veneer specialist or tech in Georgia.
They were enticing people to come in to take these classes so that you could get rich too, but you were getting rich doing something that's completely illegal.
Patients showing up here expecting to have dental work instead found police. They say that people don't have a license and they're just arresting them all.
You a blood clot. Where my money at? What you talking about?
D.A. Willis says patients are not only the victims of monetary fraud, but their health is at risk here too.
We have had dentists not just locally, but from outside of the state also come and report that they were concerned about their patients who had received services at this location and the long-term effects of damages.
Oh, wow. Isn't that that's the lady that's trying the Trump case, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Fanny, yeah, that was her that was trying the Trump case, and then she's got she was found to be having a relationship with her fellow lawyer that was working with her on the case or something like that. So they try to discredit everything like that. And
that's her. Yeah, no, I wasn't familiar about that.
Yeah.
But
what do you think?
That's complete foolishness. Like, I mean, to sum it up, because like just on so many levels, like that's high level scamming, right? Like people are just like finding another way to do that. But it's like the lengths that people will go to just to make money. Like that's insane. Like how do you make up a career or like a profession that does not exist, and then to top it off, then to go and try to train other people to do it, like that's crazy, and more so crazy for people that are just doing it, like going to him, like knowing that that this is not legitimate, like you just cannot be that dumb. But
I know you didn't take your trip down there and it got down there and it was closed, was it?
Who? I don't need veneers. Thank you.
What you got, Brian?
No, I was just going to say, like, this is one of those situations where they always say if you want to belong somewhere, just act confident and act like you're supposed to be there. And I'm kind of torn. Like, clearly that he's very good at doing that. He's convinced a lot of people to let him do what he does. But I had looked at his social media before we started, and like scrolling through it, like everything about it is a red flag to me. Yeah, there's some pictures and videos of people in their teeth, but a lot of it is him trying to be fabulous. And like that's a really weird contrast to me. Like that would give me pause if I was going there for that purpose. But clearly a lot of people saw what they wanted to see there.
Yeah,
apparently, and now they may not have teeth. So
that's very true. That's very true. Well, he's in the right city. He's in the right city because that's all about the look. And I don't know. I guess I look at it both ways. Wrong, although every way of it is wrong. So I'm not excusing it. However, I do say he's probably thinking he's going to monopolize off of the people going over to Colombia or what have you, getting their teeth done. So you feel like, oh, I'll do it right here, this and a third. And honestly, I was waiting for somebody to get into this market, like the black market of these veneers and stuff like that, because look at everything that's happened with people in the black market as far as like butt shots and stuff like that. So naturally, whatever is hot and popular at that time, somebody's going to find a way to try to make it, to make money off of it. And to your point, Brian, huh?
Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
To your point, he did it for the come up, and he probably offered a very good price because it baffles me too, though, that some of these like cosmetic surgeons and even people that do veneers and stuff like that, they offer these discounts or offer these, it was like even a tax service I know was advertising like, hey, get so many referrals, you get a free BBL and stuff like that. So with him, he probably offering that stuff at a reasonable price, and that's why people are flocking to it and stuff like that, because they'll do anything. It's amazing to me how the things that matter a lot to you, like your appearance, your teeth, you'll just put that in anybody's hands. Now your shit fall out tomorrow, what you gonna do? You can't sue the man and shit, he's in jail. So what really are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Walk around here dumbing it? Come on now, and whatever you paid for is down the drain now.
Yeah. But like the thing that shocked me about the whole situation was how few people reported problems, and not that there weren't problems, because there very clearly were. But like these people were clearly just going to get veneers, and that they probably didn't even have a dentist that was dealing with their general health.
Yeah.
And so it was only a few people that had actually gone to their dentists who said, this is really bad. Like, you need to go back and get this fixed. And then they were just sending them back to somebody that didn't know what they were doing in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, but then if you go to your dentist, will they even touch that? Are they gonna...
That's a liability. Like, I just
right.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like some probably would potentially, depending on the severity of it, maybe like if it was salvageable or like whatever. But yeah,
is veneers are just put over top of your real teeth, or
more or less? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know they, in some cases, they shave the teeth down and then they put them over. I know, which is crazy in itself, but I think there are some instances where not. But it all just seems weird to me. I don't know. I just I'd rather.
What are your teeth doing underneath all that?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. No clue. It's like, do you still clean it the same? Like, how does that work? To your point, like, I have no idea.
I hope they got a real dentist so they can get some false teeth, because that's what they're gonna need next.
That's exactly that's on the road.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but the price really right now, these things that are these trendy little things are what's grabbing people's attention to quick fixes to change their appearance. And like I said, he's in the right city, because we know that Atlanta is all about the look and all about you looking the part.
But did he honestly think that he was going to get away with that? Like you mentioned before, like with the black market, all of that is in other countries, though, not.
No. With the black market,
you're talking about, or just like underground, like people. But again, it's like underground people that are doing it. They don't have IG pages and websites, So it's like he was literally like convinced himself almost that oh yes, this is a real thing and I can make money off of this, you know. So that in itself is baffling.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how he does. It looked like, speaking of BBLs, it looked like he might have had one when he had that robe on. So
I feel like
obviously
he had quite a bit of things done.
he had some things on. Yeah. So I hope it lasts while he's locked up.
Right.
All right, guys. You know the election is coming up soon. I think we got like 29 days. So let's see what the former President Trump has to say about eating the dogs.
President, Springfield, Ohio is experiencing a migrant crisis. Will you
Yes.
use an event there to show the media what's actually happening, maybe a town hall?
Well, we could, and maybe we'll do that. Where are you from? That's good. Very good. They're doing a very good job. Yeah, that's very good. No, I will, maybe Springfield, maybe Aurora, maybe both. We'll go there. I can say this, we will do large deportations from Springfield, Ohio. Large deportations. We're going to get these people out. We're bringing them back to Venezuela. You know, he told Biden he's not accepting anybody back. They moved all their criminals, not all of them, but the rest are moving in now. They emptied their jails in Venezuela, emptied their criminals, emptied the nests. They call them nests of bad people. They're all now in the United States, and they're now taking over cities. It's like an invasion from within. And we're going to have the largest deportation in the history of our country, and we're going to start with Springfield and Aurora.
The largest deportation.
Won't somebody think of the cats and the dogs?
My God, today. It's. I think he's taking that and ran with it. I love the distraction that it has created. But well, honestly, I love it, but I appreciate the distraction that he's caused. You know,
distraction from what?
Himself, and the fact that he don't really have a plan, and the fact
there's
really,
no substance to anything else.
Yeah, so he's using these little things to distract the people. What's the side for, Brian?
I don't even know at this point. Like we've been talking about this for what, 8 years now.
Right.
Like, what else is there to say at this point?
Yeah, but I mean, he keeps surprising us, that he keeps pulling out a new stop, doing something.
Well, yeah, we know, but it's not shocking though. Like, and I think that's the thing. It's like, yes, he said this about the cats and the dogs or whatever. It's so unbelievable that it's just like he's almost appearing as like the senile old man, like at this point, like just saying anything or just, you know, repeating whatever someone told him. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, what's happening?
That's true. Yeah, that is true. I know that it's interesting. Like, I don't know if you guys have been following the recent news about the Hurricane Helen. And so I think as of recently, he did a couple of press conferences or interviews and stuff like that. He was talking about how Biden and
isn't doing anything,
or like the response wasn't what it should have been, or something like that.
Yeah,
correct. Then he accused them of stealing the FEMA money, using it for something else. The lady from FEMA had to come out and say that wasn't true. The representative from FEMA had to come out and say it wasn't true. Then criticizing, saying, you know, making people think that they're only giving $750 to the people that have been affected by the hurricane, not further explaining that, hey, it's just a starting point, you know, to get kind of like immediate assistance, you know, to get immediate things, and then they have other assistance plans, you know, for those who need it. But it's what I think is scary to me is that so many people are just quick to follow and don't really want to do the research. And so if he was gets on these platforms and say those type of things, people are going to be like, oh my God, they ain't not doing nothing. You know, they stealing the money. They this and the third. And it's not true.
Yeah, I agree. But truth be told, I feel like it's been that way for many, many years. Like in terms of people don't do research. They just they take a public figure or a political figure for face value, and it's like they're not gonna go and research everything. So it's sad that we're here and have to literally do that with people for everything. But
And I feel like Trump is one of his. This is not a compliment, but one of the things that he does very well is throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And like the fact that we're still talking about Springfield, Ohio, and immigrants there, like that's why he keeps bringing it up, because clearly it resonates with people. They get, whether it's positive or negative, he doesn't really care. He just wants people talking about what he wants them to talk about. And then I think the Helen response is another one of those. Like, he knows that there's a group of people that are going to, grab onto that and run with it, whether it's true or not, because they don't really care. It came out of Trump's mouth. They're just going to go with it.
That's true. That's true. I think for me, also the unfortunate part about the Hurricane Helene thing is that instead of you talking about, your platform, talking about the help that you're offering, what are you doing to help the people there? You're using this as a political moment to down one group to get, to attempt to get votes and stuff like that. So, and it's unfortunate that people that support him don't see right through that and be like, hey, the bigger picture here is that we have people in need, and you're using this for your own, you're not gonna call it self-righteous, but just using it for your own benefit, trying to get elected. And everybody, what about these people that are down there that are really in need of help? They can probably use you and some of this, all this money you allegedly have, to help them out, Right. But people won't ask those questions or even really be critical of him in that way, to be like, what, sir, come on down here and help us out. Come on down, this and the third thing. But that goes to show you what he thinks of those who support him as well. That I don't have to do any of those things.
Right. Well, and if you noticed in that clip, that was Newsmax that was asking that question. And that was clearly them framing the whole situation to give him an opportunity to say something that made him gave him a positive light, basically. Like, are you going to go to Springfield and show people what's actually happening? That's all he has to do, is say, actually, we might do that. That's a great idea. And now there's a positive for him.
He's the savior now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they love to do.
I don't know if you guys have followed recently his wife in her response to
abortion rights
and everything like that, which sounds a lot like it goes against what he's saying. But it's interesting to me that she has spoken up about this, and so I wonder what kind of rift that causes in their home, because I'm just being honest, because she hasn't said anything, and the thing about it, she's been like radio silent and then here you pop out with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would have thought if you pop out, it's so close to the election, you popping out, my husband, vote for but she come out like, this is how I feel about it. I'm like,
yeah. I actually had not heard about this, but so what really? In a nutshell, what did she say?
I don't know, like verbatim what she said. I know there was a video that she put out, that she had staged and filmed, just speaking about abortion rights. But it's essentially, like Mario was saying, that she kind of goes against like how the Republican side is treating abortion rights. But I haven't seen like the whole video, so I don't know exactly what she said. So.
I don't know if I can play a little brief part of it for you guys, but yeah, she's basically she don't need to be saying that.
No, it definitely kind of.
It's a fundamental principle that I safeguard.
Well, she's.
Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth.
So anyway, that she supports. In a nutshell, she's that's a women's rights. Basically, I'm gonna sum it up for you. Government, stay out of it. She supports women's rights to choose, all that type of stuff.
That's bold.
It is.
And somebody as like you said, radio silent as she has been forever, basically.
That's very bold. Like, how did they let that be released? You know what I mean? Like, that's
they hand it to the courthouse, and not for the marriage, for the other part of the courthouse. After this, especially, let him not win. You already know. Let him not win. Was it Melania? Is it? Okay. I hope she got another one lined up because he's on his way out.
Shut up.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, guys, let's switch gears a little bit and get into a little bit of a discussion. So, I'm part of the reason why we started this podcast is just to really have those thought-provoking conversations. And I'm very interested in how others go through their journeys. On a journey of myself, of self-improvement to be the best version of myself that I can be. So it always interests me how others travel, amongst in their journeys and some of the ins and outs of that and everything like that. So my question for you guys today is, do you feel like you are living up to your full potential?
I know that I'm not. I know there are a lot of things that I've wanted to do throughout the years that I have not done, just for fear or procrastination, uncertainty for whatever reasons. So I know that there's much more to be done. So it's a matter of like taking it one bite at a time and just putting one foot in front of the other and doing it. So that's how I'm viewing things as of late, as opposed to saying, oh, I have to wait until the time is right before I can do X, Y, Z, or, because realistically, nothing's going to be perfect when it's time to do whatever it is you need to do. So I'm just trying to live in that vein.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind sharing, what is one thing that you have let fear or procrastination get in the way of?
One thing is like musically, I don't do many things musically. So there are a lot of things that I do, like just, whatever. And I do them pretty well, but I don't like actually hone in on it, whatever. So in terms of music, like even just utilizing that in some capacity, like I've kind of like dropped music altogether kind of, but it's something that I love. So it's just a matter of like finding like what that looks like for me again, basically, whether that be singing again or like teaching music or like something like that. So something musically related.
Teaching music, like
theory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's no better time than the present, honestly, to kind of get out and make things happen. And I'm sure you already know this, but there are so many people out there just doing it, like Nike, just do it. So but that fear thing it definitely can take a hold of you and really change your whole mindset on some of the things you may want to do. It's interesting how fear impacts so many aspects of life in some ways, and then and whatever fear may bring as a result as well, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of whatever, all those type of things kind of stagnate you. You can move forward. So,
but then it pushes your passion. It speaks to your passion, because it's like once any good outcome is going to come from a set of failures. So it's about kind of changing your mindset and feeling like, okay, once I experience this failure, it's like, what do I then do with that? Do I decide to just give it up, quit, and go cower in the corner, or do I use what didn't work and try to figure it out and move forward? So I think it's easier said than done, but I think ultimately, like, that's what you have to do to make it effective.
I agree. Brian, what say you?
I was going to say one thing about Hayward's example of music, possibly teaching it. Like, one thing I will say is, this may be motivational or maybe scary, it's hard to say, but that would be being the reason that someone else can live up to their full potential in music. Would be an awesome thing in you achieving yours as well. So definitely consider that as a possibility. That's awesome.
No, I agree. Yep. You're totally right on that.
Yeah, I mean, you can always be my vocal coach, and then when I hit it big, then you'll hit it big. What's her name? Jan. That's the lady that helped Kim Zolciak, the ring.
Hilarious.
But yeah, Brian, do you feel like you're living up to your full potential?
No. But I mean, does anybody really feel like they're living up to their full potential? I will say that I don't necessarily consider myself unhappy with where I am in life. I would say any failures or failure to live up to my full potential is more based on societal pressure than internal pressure. But so yeah, not really, but it also really doesn't bother me that much.
Societal meaning like society says that you should be doing X, Y, and Z.
Right. I mean, you should, hit milestones in your life at a certain age or at a certain point in your career or what, things of that nature. Like, yeah, but I don't necessarily subscribe to what everybody else, the benchmark for everybody else.
Well, I wish I had your rule of thought, because unfortunately for me, that is how I live my life, or how I've been living my life, is be based on societal viewpoints that I've therefore internalized, and now they become my viewpoints of that you should be doing this at this age, and you should, not doing this at that age, and that kind of things. And so by a certain age, it's just like an internal clock and calendar, I guess, that I feel like has really, if I can be honest about it, it really has, it hasn't served me well, and truthfully. And so that's why I value that, as you saying that, because I wish I had that thought process. Maybe I would have, saved a lot of years of frustration and stuff like that, feeling like I should be doing this and this and that third. And in more of a ways, just being able to just go with the flow, and let life live as it should, and let things unfold as they should. But I'm always overthinking and always feeling like, this ain't that. I should be doing this, this and the third. So
I don't think you're alone in that. I feel like we all have a piece of like, oh, I should be doing something else or doing more, and like Brian said, not that he's unhappy or anyone else is unhappy, but it's just like you feel like there's something else out there, So I don't know if that's a part of also societal pressure, is like feeling like you're chasing the next thing, or like, we got
not even that you are chasing it, but that you should be chasing the next thing constantly. And that, I think that's kind of the thing that I don't really have, is the feeling that I should be doing anything in particular. I'm clearly not in any danger of starving to death. I have a roof over my head. Things are fine.
Well, that's good. I mean, and truth be, you can be a positive influence on others in that, because some, like I said, there are many of us that are out here beating ourselves up, thinking that, hey, this is what I should be doing. Listen to those societal.
What area of your life do you think that you like?
We don't have time.
Just give me one then. What's the big one? Career.
The big
money,
one would be
finance.
career. The big one would be career. I think that in more ways than one, I feel like I am settling for whatever reason, and so I'm not really living up to me or operating in my full potential in what I do now, day in and day out, because it's I don't want to call it mindless work, but it essentially is. And so with that, I just in my mind, I always felt like I would be, I don't know, some big wig or something like this at this point in my life. Like I feel like I should be, but here I am, working on a plantation, and that's it.
Well, when you say a big wig, is that like you just feel like
having a title? Not that the title means anything, but just doing. It's hard to explain. It's having a purpose. So let's take away the title part of it, but it's having a purpose.
Okay. So you feel like the work that you do doesn't provide value.
It doesn't. Okay. No, it doesn't. Like I leave there and I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel any of those things. It's kind of like, okay, well, we'll do it all over again tomorrow. Yeah. And I think what I'm realizing though is that where I used to really think I really enjoyed people,
You don't.
Or maybe it's just the generation that I deal with day in and day out that it's causing me that. You know, people of my generation, I feel like we're on the same wavelength and have the same opinions at work. Not so much.
Yeah. Did you cover your mic or?
Can you hear me?
You got kind of quiet.
Yeah, it changed. Like.
Oh, did it? Oh, I don't know what happened.
Better.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
But no, so that would be that. To answer your question, Brian, not to belabor anymore, that would be probably my main area right there that I don't feel like I'm living up to my full potential. So we'll see.
Got it.
We'll see. So I want to ask you guys something that my therapist recently has asked me, and I found it. I know I still don't really fully have an answer for him, and so I'll see what I come up with for Thursday. But, his question was, "What are you willing to give up to have the life that you want?" And as you guys think about the context of this is like I'm always saying like I desire to be like I'll say my main thing is I want to be happy. Don't really have a full description of what happy may look like. For me, it's like a feeling. Like once I'm there, I'll feel it. I'll know I'm in that space. So I always say that. So I want to be happy. So as I'm on this journey, that's one of the things I've been saying. So last time I was speaking with him, he asked me like, you know, in order to grow and get to where I'm trying to get to on this journey, what am I willing to give up in the process? And I don't, you know.
So in other words, you're making us do your homework.
Right.
You're hoping to get a really good answer out of us to take with you on Thursday.
No, I used to glance at a few exams in class, you know. But no, I mean, I can start because one of the things I do want to kind of get rid of is like self-doubt. That is really one thing that is, and if you, to those people that really know me, know that I'm probably the most critical of myself than I am of anybody else. And so I'll be the first one to promote, be your biggest cheerleader, say, hey, you got this. Like, hey, we're going out there and sing, you know, get on there, get you all these people on here doing, you know, getting a YouTube channel. They out there singing, fa la 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 la, doing that do re mi challenge. Get out there. It's, you know what I'm saying? But if somebody was to tell me something, I can come up with you 30 reasons why, no, I'm not going to do that. You know, instead of 30. So to eliminate some of the self-doubt.
Okay. That's a safe answer.
It is a safe answer. Yeah. I agree with that.
I'll start there. I have another answer, but I don't know. It's not appropriate for right now.
Fair.
Huh? I don't want anybody thinking too bad of me. But yeah.
My answer to this question would be, and this is a trade-off that I make frequently in life, and or not necessarily frequently, but it's a trade-off that I make over time. Laziness is what I would give up to live the life that I want. And I feel like that is always the balance that I am making in my life, is like where you see me sitting right now. I have my computer in front of me. I can game on it. I can, create videos or whatever the case may be. I have my DJ equipment right here. And I can spend a fair amount of time doing absolutely nothing that is productive or useful in life. And I'm very happy with that. And I'm constantly finding the balance between being right here, making myself happy, and, going someplace else and making myself money. So some of my laziness is what I give up all the time to live the life that I want.
Yeah. But is that really, I don't know.
That's not well, I guess it kind of, it is a sacrifice in source, because I was going to say, is that really a sacrifice? But it is, because you enjoy just
right
relaxing. Like you said, there are many other things that you could be doing with that time, but you are perfectly fine with just chilling, which that it's okay. But I get it. So that is a sacrifice.
Well, this goes back to the first question about living up to our full potential. Like, you know, I dedicate a significant amount of time to myself, and don't get me wrong, from a mental health perspective or, you know, self-care, that's a great thing. But in terms of earning potential, that's not always a great thing. But so it's kind of a balance, you know, finding the right thing. So yeah, it actually is, you know, I consider it a sacrifice in the context of this conversation, but I do understand what you're saying also.
Yeah, but I guess for me, it's great that you're choosing yourself. You know.
As a person that can very easily spend too much time on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why I call it laziness, not necessarily just self-care or you know, caring or taking care of myself. It is literally just the desire that I don't want to do anything. So that's why I use that term specifically to describe what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
Because I can overdo it for sure.
Okay. Not overdo it. What about you, Hayward?
I don't know. I feel like I have to do like a deep dive into this one, but just in general, I feel like I would be willing to give up my like, I don't want to say anonymity, but just like my ability to kind of blend in, because in general, like just throughout life, I've always kind of like been in the background, like a little bit, just when it comes to school, or like I wouldn't like raise my hand to do things, or like I wasn't like the outgoing person to be like, hey, like I'm here to do these things or whatever. And I feel like a lot of that has transferred into adult life and just how I respond to different situations. So whether that be career wise, so it's like that fear creeps in of not being able to deliver or second guess myself. The self-doubt sets in, like, you know, are people gonna, you know, appreciate what I'm talking about, or like, is it gonna make a difference? And just having all of these like ideas swirling around in my head as to am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? No one cares what I'm saying. Like, and just that care, that overall care about like what others think about what I'm doing. Like just being able to give that up and just be out there. Cause I feel like I have friends who are that way, and it's like, oh, I wish I could do that, but I'm too concerned. I'm too concerned about what other people think.
So you
Are
say
you?
that you
tell me to go to hell quickly.
So you tend to err on the side of being anonymous versus eliciting other people's opinions of you.
Right. Well, not so much as eliciting other people's opinions, because I will elicit opinions from like, you know, friends and, you know, whatever.
Okay.
But in situations where it's like I have to put myself out there, or like whatever, it's a big situation, then I won't do it. Like I'll clam up and figure out, like Mario, 35,000 reasons that I don't need to do this. So
yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
I'm saying that to you, but I'm saying that to myself as well. It's unfortunate that that takes place and that happens, because think about all the things we could be missing out on.
Exactly.
As a result of not doing. Yeah. And I, you know, yeah. Go ahead, Brian. Let's look like the wheels are turning.
I was just contemplating that's something that I'm very familiar with as well. I not too long ago, I was talking to a friend of mine about this is DJ related. I am a person that has merch now, and people actually buy it, and that is such a shock to me that people want something with my name on it. Like I'm just Brian or Evox, whichever name you go by, and now the people actually want to buy merch that has my name on it, and that just baffles me when I ultimately consider myself a fairly anonymous person. But yeah,
let's see. And here's the
it's
thing.
such a weird transition that just kind of happened one day.
Yeah,
but see, how do you feel about it?
I'd say neutral. It's just weird. That's the primary thing that I feel about it, is just kind of like I don't entirely understand how I got to this point. It was just a weird transition.
Yeah, I feel like it would be weird. Like I think about all the influencers and, you know, whatever, who they didn't necessarily set out to become like these people with these large followings, but then it's like it just happens, and then it's like, how do you deal with that? How do you handle that? So like I mean, you know, so I feel like it would be the same thing. And
right. And I think that contrasts with the type of people that became influencers because that's what they dreamed of being, versus where it just falls in your lap and you're like, how did we get here?
Yeah. Thank you guys for sharing. I guess one other one that I might have said would have been people, but as I think through that, what I'm learning is that to get rid of people's, I just need to be more specific, and the cutoff game is not the way I should move. It should be a reason, and I should, because a lot of times my go-to is like, oh, that you did that, boom.
Yeah.
And so really realizing that I don't need to cut off people. I just need to operate in a different way, if that makes sense. And so that I would say people, but then I have to say, certain people, yes. Certain people, it's a hard, but that was my answer for a lot of times is like, listen, the easiest way to deal with it is just to cut them off, and realizing that I'm only shortchanging myself in the long run. So how am I growing if I cut you off? Because then I'm not able to see how I'm able to operate in boundaries or with my own boundaries, stuff like that. So it's a thing. I'll let you guys know what I end up actually saying on Friday.
I thought it was Thursday.
I just remembered it's Friday because I was okay. It's Friday, but yeah, I'll let you guys know exactly what I come up with.
I was going to say one thing about that is like cutting off people or giving up people is. I don't know that I've really done that very much in my life, but I certainly have compartmentalized people.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe an important distinction instead of, just immediately cutting people off. Yeah. Just reevaluate where they belong in your life.
Yeah.
And sometimes the answer is not in your life, but that doesn't always have to be the solution.
That's true.
That is true. And I wish I had that. See, look at you, just a wealth of knowledge. I wish I had that outlook, seriously, because I in my own way, have been so dependent on people. Whether it be their opinions, whether it be just being there, type of thing. So yeah, I'm growing into myself at this, lovely age, but we'll see.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
All right, guys, so we'll shift gears a little bit and see if you guys can figure this out. I saw, because I'm still calling it what Black folks say, but right. I'm gonna see if you can figure it out.
Yeah.
So when Black folks say when Black folks know something is far, but they want you to go, at least you would have thought I didn't go to school. Black folks know something is far, but they want you to go, so they say IRUTS. What does that mean?
I'm right up the street.
And I saw that, and it took me forever. I was like, "What is that? What is it?" But that is exactly it.
I would say that's like your go-to. That's your MO.
And he would be correct. He would be definitely correct. That is my go-to. However, I've gotten better. That I'm
absolutely. You have.
Thank you. See, thank you. In my growth, because I actually now am right up the street when I say it. For the most part.
So you've actually left the house when you say right up the street?
Yeah. I mean, beforehand, I would be like,
not in the shower yet.
Right.
Scurrying around to set the third, but no, I actually, because one of the things I was, have realized that's a disrespect on other people's time.
Yeah,
because when I'm ready and there and waiting, it burns me up, and so then I have to put myself in that, and that it does, only child syndrome, I guess, but but now I see, but it also allows me to see, like, what am I doing to somebody else? You know what I'm saying? Got them waiting and stuff like that. Who am I? So
yeah.
Get it from that standpoint. All right, got a little game for you guys. See if you can figure out this little riddle.
Okay.
Jenny, when I was 2, my sister was twice my age. Now I'm 40. So how old is my sister?
When I was 2, she was twice my age.
Right.
So twice my age of 40 would be 80.
You're saying your sister's 80?
Yeah, she's 80.
All right, I'm going to take this $100 because you are going to lose $100 for every wrong answer. So that's wrong.
No, I didn't agree to that.
Well, those are the rules.
But twice, she was twice when I was 2, so twice when I was 40 is still 80. Because it's twice.
Okay. You just get the same thing again and lost another $100 as a result. Why would you do that? Are you that person when you play like Pictionary, you just keep saying the same thing over and over and over again, hoping that maybe the 50th time?
Okay, no.
Yeah.
But, okay, so twice a 2 is 4.
Right.
Oh, that's not how age works.
That's not
You don't
how
double.
Yeah, you don't just double your age every time you get older.
So, they're 44.
44?
Yeah.
Wrong. Are you serious? Are you serious?
36?
Give me that. I don't even want to work for it. You just... Where do you get
When
this?
I was 2, my sister was twice my age. Now I'm 40.
Right.
Oh, she's 42.
Oh.
I should stop before then, but yeah. But please believe I was struggling with that one as well. I was like,
but it's amazing how the brain works because you automatically want to double that 40. So I get it.
Yeah,
for sure.
It stumped me. I don't know if you guys if I saw them, they could do all those little brain teasers, and I'm like, I saw them on TikTok, and if I'm like, I'm like, damn, yeah, okay, yeah. I had P trying to figure out a couple of them, and then we was like, I'll bring a couple more to y'all so y'all can see, and then I'll make sure I cut it earlier enough. So,
okay.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Hayward, you are providing our uplift this week. Are you ready?
I'm ready for it.
Brian, I must real quick before you start. I must say I really do like that. You know, Brian is, he has created our intros and such, and so for somebody who's lazy and just sitting around, he put together some
director.
So.
No, it's great. I do like it too.
Thank you.
So this week's quote comes from none other than Amelia Earhart. For those who do not know who Amelia Earhart, she was the first woman to fly across the Atlantic. Way back in, I don't know the actual year, so don't quote me on that. But so the quote is, "The most difficult thing is the decision to act. The rest is merely tenacity."
I'm sorry now. The most difficult thing is the ability.
The most difficult thing is the most difficult thing is the decision to act. The rest is merely tenacity.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Which is true. It's kind of like what we spoke to earlier, like in the sense of like just the hardest thing, honestly,
getting started.
So to get started, just do it. Yep. You know. But after that, it's about how tenacious you are.
Yep.
Okay.
You know.
Cool. So then I'm gonna slip into my Ronnie bag and say, the next time we meet, guys, we should discuss, or everybody should have one thing that you have done. I don't say differently, but based off of what we discussed earlier, one thing you have done to change that make that change, So maybe Ryan might, I don't know what that would cause, but I mean, here you are. I mean, you chilling, selling merch and everything like that. So maybe Hayward, you'll tell us that you doing that la 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 and everything. And so, but yeah, we can be each other's accountability.
Okay.
Partners. So.
What decisions to act we made? Is that
there? You have it. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the words. Huh?
Say a little chat GPT.
Exactly. So yeah, but thank you guys for another great episode. R.I.P. to Sissy Houston.
I know.
Yeah, heard about that.
Yeah. So it's tragic, and then
it is. Like, it's just when I think about it, it's like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
How old was she?
Well, she was 91. It said. Is that what you're saying?
91.
That's what they said, but I was like, I didn't think
that could be possible because Whitney passed when she was in her 40s, and so she's been
right. But that was what, 12 years ago? It was 12 years ago. So
I think she would have been
91. I mean, I guess she could have been because Whitney has older siblings.
So yeah. So she might have been. Oh wow. Okay.
I guess I just didn't realize she was that old. Like,
yeah. And then you had John Amos pass. Well, actually, he passed in August.
Yeah.
Right, I saw that.
His son just came forth about it. So yeah, it's been a lot of stuff going on. So
yeah, James Earl Jones before that. So yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of the greats. So make sure you guys are telling those you love that you love them.
Yeah.
You know, let's not take that for granted. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you guys soon. Please remember to like. I don't know. I'm about to forget. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, subscribe, all of the things to the Off Topic podcast. Yeah, that's all I got. Have a great week
and vote.
Oh, yeah, because today ended. Was today?
Today was the last day to vote, but I mean, by the time this
Register.
it will be to register. Yes, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
for Texas. So by the time you guys see this, the time will have passed. So hopefully, you will have already done your duty.
Already done your due diligence, and then because the early voting has started in some areas too, hasn't it? I believe so.
Maybe. I'm not sure though.
You know, I watch The View faithfully, and so they give me my, I have a certain cadence I stick with. A little substance, a little. It's like The View. Then I watch Sherry Shepherd to kind of give you the midpoint, and then I watch, T.S. Madison that gives me the
the other side.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Well, have a great week.
All right.
Y'all do the same. Bye, guys.